All right, let's get started. So this is video one of the 4 video sessions that we're going to be doing over this book, Reclaiming the Sufficiency of the Scripture by Rob Reno. This is just a short little book, 4 chapters of just brief information, maybe information you already know or believe. I expect that most of us that are watching this video probably believe that the Bible is the all-inspired, infallible, God-breathed word, and that it is completely true, and that it was written by man just exactly the way God wanted us to have it. Sometimes, though, I think we get lost in the fact that we don't necessarily believe that the Scripture is sufficient for everything that we need, that it's not going to be enough. It can't possibly be relevant in 2026. And that's what this book really talks about. If I believe that the Bible is true and infallible and sufficient for all things, I think the question I have to ask myself is, do my actions reflect that? And does my life actually reflect my belief? If someone needs salvation, I grab my Bible and we start that walk down the Roman road. If you need prayer, I flip to verse after verse of example prayers and answered prayers and crying prayers and closet prayers. And if you need spiritual growth, I have verses marked for that. If you want to know about heaven and hell, we can find that information in the Scripture pretty easy. But what about marriage and in-laws and relationships? What about rejection and rebellion? Are those things covered? And what about prioritizing my choices and time management? Those are things that I encounter with a lot of people in coaching and counseling. Do those things make the cut? I think so. Just as God sent His Son, the Word, to supply our every need, He sent His Word, the Bible, to address our every need. I'm going to ask you to meditate on these scriptures. And by meditate, I mean this. When you read the scripture through the first time, think about what it says about God. What are the attributes of God in this scripture? I think if you don't do this and you don't understand the characteristics or the qualities or the attributes of God, you don't understand who He is, then the rest of it's not going to make any sense. So that's the first thing we need to do, is when you read a scripture, think about, what does this say about God? Who is God in this scripture? The second thing I want you to do is think about, what does the scripture say to Joe Christian? This is just any run-of-the-mill regular person, the guy that sits down the pew from you, your neighbor, whoever. What does it say as a general interpretation to any Christian? And then the last one that I want you to think about is, what does it say to me? What is it specifically revealing to me about me in this moment? So the scriptures that I want you to meditate on are 2 Timothy 3:15 through 17, Romans 10:17, and Hebrews 4:12. I'll also put those in the comments so you can grab them from there. If you bought the book, go to page 24, and there are just a handful of questions back there. Number 3 question is this: what role does the Bible play in your personal life and in your family? I think that's always a good question we can ask ourselves. One more thing before we jump off here. I don't know how you're doing on your New Year's resolutions, but Friday, I guess that was, Friday the 9th, second Friday in January is National Quitters Day. Just wondering how everybody made it through. If you beat that date and you're still on your New Year's resolutions, congratulations.